first of all, a big welcome, Mr. Amuleek Singh Bijral to Decode. Amuleek Singh is the man responsible.
Good to be here, Kaushal.
Amuleek Singh is the man responsible for millions of Indians getting their chai fix, exactly how they like it, hot, cold, masala, ginger, or otherwise. As the founder of one of India's most loved brands, Chai Point. Prior to starting Chai Point, Mr. Bijral spent his time working in the tech sector. He worked for Microsoft, amongst other brands. And he also holds an MBA from a college you might have heard of. I think it's called Harvard. We're super kicked to have you share your time with us today.
Thank you so much. Delighted to be here with you, Kaushal.
Just to get started on a little bit of a personal note, how are things at your end? Before we get into how the business has been impacted, right? How have you managed kind of running a business with so much happening around us in the last 12 to 18 months?
Yeah, so, I'm sure for anybody who's on the front line of F&B operations, this has been an unprecedentedly challenging time. We really have had to test our limits of focus, patience, resourcefulness, not only at a personal level, but also extend that towards our team members, towards our colleagues across the company. The positive side is that we are coming out of it. I am quite sure that as an industry, we have seen the bottom. Yes, there is a third wave possibility, but I don't think it's going to be as intense and shocking as the second wave for several reasons. So net, there's only one way to go now, and that's up. So we are focused on that. And we are now all excited to make sure that we are able to recover the lost ground, somebody who's directly in F&B operations, 1.5 years is a very, very long time to see, a complete lull in action. So we're really very eager to, get back and going.
Got it. That's great to hear and appreciate the positive attitude that you have. Now let's talk about Chai Point, right? You've spoken in the past about how you crafted a brand for the white collar worker, with kiosks and work hubs. And it's not like the white collar workers have disappeared or that people have stopped drinking chai. But over the past 12 to 18 months, there has to have been some sort of transition. What has that been? How have you handled it? And have you had to change things, maybe rethink your approach a little bit?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, in the last 18 months, the prominence of delivery as a channel to reach out the customer very apparent to all, was very apparent to us. And we have focused on that channel a lot in terms of building additional products which are suitable for that channel, extending the food product line to be of value, to be solution-centric in delivery of our products. We have invested in technology infrastructure to strengthen the delivery operations. We have focused on operational aspects which are central to delivery. Turnaround time, prep time for products, availability of riders, wherever we were doing native deliveries. So a lot of focus has gone on to the delivery side, but important to appreciate that from day one, the Chai Point vision is about being an omnichannel brand. We started with stores and then we went into delivery. Then we realized the power and potential of vending. So we were always trying to cover the ground. We had never realized that home as a destination would become so important. That's what COVID taught us. So apart from improving the delivery side of operations, what we have also focused on in the last, I would say 6 to 9 months, is to create a very strong portfolio of packaged products which can reside in the kitchen cabinet of the customer. We realized that with that final step, the foundational aspects of Chai Point as a brand have been laid out very firmly. So once life comes back to normal, we will not be missing any moment of a target customer's life. You're walking by the cafe, you're ordering delivery, you're in office having vending, or you are at home and you open up your kitchen cabinet to have the perfect chai experience created at home for you. So in a way, the last year and a half has taught us that omnichannel is the way to go, but now even more aggressively, especially on the home front,
Right.
because that's where the customer is likely to spend more number of hours vis-a-vis pre-COVID. See, our pre-COVID thesis was that a customer's maximum awake hours are spent at office.
Yes.
Right? COVID said no, it's at home. Once things come back to normal, I think office will still win, but the home share will increase. So as a brand, we have invested to make sure that we don't miss the home front.
Got it. Just some stats about chai. I think you mentioned in the past that close to 1 trillion cups are consumed a year in India, and about 55 to 60% in the workplace, right? At one point, and this number could actually be higher, but you were processing about 6.5 lakh cups a day. What is that like? What is the number like today in the last couple of months? And how has the retail side of it been as well with, getting products into the kitchen? How is that done for you?
So we started our retail products or the packaged product drive to go inside the kitchen cabinet from March first week of 2021, because the last 6 to 9 months really went in designing and building the products. Now, I'm very happy to say that our flagship product, which is the instant chai range, is already amongst the leading categories, top 2 leaders in a span of about 2.5 months. We have taken a significant, at this stage, a significant market share on prime e-commerce channels. I'm not talking overall on the market. We are only there on the online side, but on those online sites, we have taken a prominent share. We've always been very particular about the quality and consistency of our products. We've never compromised on that. And I'm very happy that as a company, we've been able to deliver packaged products which are redefining the standard of what chai-oriented products or made for chai food products should be. So our instant chai range, for example, is 100% preservative-free, very balanced level of sugar, 100% natural, no artificial flavor, no artificial color. And it's sometimes very difficult to discern whether this is actually an instant product or a freshly brewed over the pan kind of a chai product. So I think a lot of exciting work has happened on the product side from our side, which will deliver even stronger results in the time to come. Our online product channel is growing at a rate of 20 to 25% month on month. So we are quite clear that the kitchen cabinet segment is going to be an important one for us.
Nice. On a lighter note, I was actually at a friend's house today morning, and you could put it like this: after a slightly long Friday night, my friends refused to get out of bed without ordering chai. I'm just personally intrigued. I'm sure a lot of people are keen to know, at what point of the day do you typically see the highest order volume for chai? Is it right in the morning? Is it in the afternoon, in the evening? Because there's no really right time for chai, right? Just out of like curiosity.
I think 3 to 6 p.m. is the peak hour. Definitely. But what has happened during COVID is that the morning share has come very close to the evening one. So we are seeing a lot of deliveries at the time zone of 8:30 to 11. On the weekends, the share towards the morning, your friend's example maybe, increases markedly too. Yeah, but 3 to 6 p.m. still rules.
Okay. I'm sure over time there have been some trends that you picked up on early and that you absolutely nailed. One example could be the heat retaining flask that you guys were the pioneers to do that. However, there might have been a few things that maybe didn't time perfectly, or something that you might have gotten wrong? Is there one sort of experience like that that maybe you got some learnings from that, maybe if you banked on customer loyalty, did it give you what you expected, or any of those examples?
Something, Kaushal, that you're saying we missed? Was that the question?
Yeah. Missed
Okay.
or mistimed, like you did it but you didn't do it at the time that you thought was in hindsight the best.
I think, our package product initiative was conceptualized almost 3 years ago, right? But at that point of time, we felt that we should focus on packaged products more as merchandise, keep it inside the stores, so that when people come there, they play around with it and then gradually start buying. And it became a significant business. But we didn't realize or that we need to take it online also very aggressively. It was not that we did not, we just kept it, but frankly, we never put a dedicated team to it. It was sort of a secondary function. We thought that we'll take baby steps and not get distracted from already a diverse channel base of walk-in delivery and vending, because the vending part of the business also grew very fast for us. In hindsight, in spite of seeing very aggressive growth rate in vending, we should have made a more aggressive bet on DTC. The net outcome would have been that we would have been earning a lot more revenue out of that segment during this period.
Got it.
But in effect, what happened is that we woke up only during COVID, and we lost the first 6-9 months in reconceptualizing, repackaging, thinking through the operational aspects of launching the product. And we were able to take them to market only Jan, Feb, March of this year. But thankfully, we came in because the foundational work had already been done. Otherwise, it could have taken still longer.
Yeah. That's fascinating. Part of the omni-channel strategy that you mentioned was Boxy, right? Which is essentially smart vending machines that produce great chai, amongst other things. Now that I'm assuming might have been slightly affected now. How did you deal with this? And do you see scope for it beyond the workplace? Maybe have you thought about? I'm just thinking out loud. Those sort of vending machines in apartment complexes, for example, or other kind of entertainment arenas and such. So what's the Boxy? Yeah.
Yeah. So that business unit is called Vending as a Service. Boxy is the hardware platform. So what have we been up to in that? We've been doubling up our investments in that area during the COVID period. So previously we used to have, one core model in Boxy, which is still the workhorse, which gave filter coffee and chai. In February 2020, little before COVID, we launched our cappuccino version of Boxy, right? And we actually managed to install close to 600 of them during COVID period. So we extended the platform. Then somewhere around May, June 2020, we launched our snack vending machine under the Boxy platform, where you put in the packaged snacks and through your mobile phone, you get the snack out, So we extended our entire portfolio. Then we realized that during COVID, we need to operate all of these machines through a phone. We should not be touching the panel, even though the panels are all touchscreen based there. All these machines are fundamentally driven by an Android OS platform. So we launched for the first time, possibly worldwide, but definitely in India, contactless vending, where by scanning the QR code, a micro browser opens and essentially the machine's menu comes onto your phone and you can operate it through your phone without multiple people behind or in front of you, having touched the panel, right? Because people were very particular about touching surfaces, right? So we doubled up our tech investments. Now, obviously the business came down, right? Because a lot of offices got shut. But hospitals, our share increased because hospitals were busy. Then media companies, our share increased. Pharma companies, our share increased. manufacturing, our share increased. Overall, the business came down, but all these new verticals came up.
Right.
And we continued our investment on the software side improvements. We used the last year to actually roll out a state-of-the-art company-wide warehouse management, supply relationship management, and transport management system. We rolled out a new ERP on the accounting front. We also, very recently, in fact, launched our own set of apps. We went live with Android 2-3 weeks ago. We are going live with our iOS app now. We also made a bet on WhatsApp as a interaction forum. So a lot of digital investments came in. And on the vending as a service front, the other thing that we are very excited about is that we extended our distributor base. Mm-hmm. So pre-COVID, we used to install the machine on the strength of our direct enterprise sales team. But now we have onboarded close to about 80 odd distributors. We'll be 100 by August, which means that our vending business will not be limited to just the 10 cities where we had direct team presence, but we'll be covering close to about 30 to 40 cities in the next 3 to 4 months. So our prospects around growth on the vending business are actually very aggressive. In August, September, we are also releasing the next generation platform for our chai and filter coffee machine. So, that's the third generation now. So, it's quite clear, frankly, that post-COVID, our offerings for the customers are going to be of a completely different level. Our reach for the customers is going to be of a different level thanks to the distributor base. Yeah. And our tech capability to handle this large scale is going to be of a different level. So we've had a tough time, but frankly, Kaushal, we are really eagerly looking forward to the market to open up, because I think we'll be in a very different position of strength now.
Yeah, I think that's great to hear. You essentially covering every single touch point, and that's absolutely fascinating. I'm keen to understand, how do you position Chai Point today? I think you guys have an iconic tagline, which is India runs on chai. As of 2021, has that changed, or do you think India runs on chai just perfectly captures how you position Chai Point as a brand?
So India runs on chai is very true. What is driving us is our brand purpose. India runs on chai is our tagline, and it's very relevant and it's great. But frankly, the company has also evolved in the last 3 or 4 years. We are the largest sellers of filter coffee in the country. Okay. Thanks to our vending machine, right? And this has happened in a span of 2 years. I mean, pre-COVID 2 years. So as a single brand, we are the largest seller for a cup of filter coffee. We were also surprised. So our coffee business has increased. So, and our food share, just to also from a delivery standpoint, pre-COVID, it was close to about 30% on the delivery side and on the walk-in side combined. Now it is close to about 50%. So the brand has really evolved. And what is driving that change? It's the customer. Mm-hmm. It's our focus on the market. As a result, now we have a very clear brand purpose, and that is to serve a great cup that brings people together and brightens lives. This is sort of not a tagline for the external customer base, but this is more of an operating reality. This is the who and what of the brand. To some extent, this also defines the why behind the brand. Yeah. So we are not saying, mind you, serve a great cup of chai. We're saying serve a great cup, because the coffee share is very significant, right? And if it's going so much, we have to serve a great cup, right? Likewise, the ethos of the brand is very clearly driven by chai. chai is a very social beverage. It's a very emotional beverage in the country. So chai is not a solo pursuit. Invariably, it is with friends and family.
Absolutely.
Chai is an icebreaker, right?
Yeah.
And it's cross-generational, right? I think along with some of the other brands, we can, stake claim to the fact that we've definitely contributed in giving the young customer the confidence that chai is very cool, right?
Yeah.
So, because intuitively it's a need, it needed that lift of becoming cool.
Yeah.
But underneath all of this, the core is that it's a happy beverage. It's about brightening lives, right? I'm talking to you and I'm sipping a cup of chai. This is not a sell. This is just my time, and I don't want to miss it just because I'm having an interaction with you, my cup of chai, right? And I'm sure this is true for so many people. This is also a beverage, therefore, which brings people together. I mean, it brightens lives individually, like I am right now enjoying my cup of chai, but it brings people together too, right? Um, I mean, from classic traditional scenes of prospective in-laws or whatever meeting each other, to now even dates, to colleagues stepping out, to neighbors coming over. Yeah, I mean, there are about 30, 40, 50, 100 scenarios around which chai is relevant. So we have anchored the brand around this reality. Serve a great cup, brighten lives, bring people together. And with that, our positioning now is extended to chai experience. So we are saying that, look, this is what the customers have told us. A great cup of chai point is not good enough. A great cup of chai and great set of food items is essential for the overall chai experience. So now when our consumers start stepping into our stores, and you will see even in the virtual interfaces, the apps and so on, we want the customer to look at Chai Point as the core brand. But once you step inside the brand, we, of course, are anchored very strongly on chai. So there are a lot of new products there. But now we are offering Cat as coffee. Coffee Around Town is a label that we have launched. It'll become more visible as COVID opens up, right? Then we have extended our food range around made for chai as a philosophy. So we've launched a brand called Peppy range of paranthas, because paranthas and chai go very well. And there are 3 or 4 formats around paranthas. There is Peppy parantha, curries, Peppy loaded parantha, which is like, loaded with aloo and paneer and so on and so forth. And then Peppy rolls, right? Similarly, poha, upma, Maggi, oats, other cereals, they go with chai a lot. I mean, for a big part of India, poha upma is breakfast with chai. So we're launching a sub-brand called Old School, which will position these products. Then likewise, bun as an add-on to chai is very popular. So we are creating a sub-brand called Buddy Buns, Similarly, on the cold teas, iced teas, we're going ahead with something called chilled, because our iced teas get very popular. And likewise, on shakes and indulgent beverages, we are building a line called Enchante, which is going to get launched very soon. So the experience net of the customer is going to be elevated now. COVID has taught us that the reason for a customer to step into the store going forward will have to be a much stronger one, because now many of them are also habituated to delivery. So if they have to step into a store, you have to take that bar high. And the way to communicate that bar is by building these sub-brands so that the customer also gets the message that there is special care in all of these offerings. What ties all these offerings together to the brand? They're all made for chai. Peppy is made for chai, Buddy is made for chai, Old School is made for chai, right? Of course, coffee is standalone, right? So, and with all of this is coming packaging, all of this is coming um, you know, new range of food items. With all of this, an outcome will be an increase in average order value for us. People will indulge more with the brand. They will have more reasons to engage with the brand.
Yeah.
So on the retail side, this is very important initiative. This is a very important initiative right now.
I think from what you're saying, essentially, if I had to think back to moments I've had where I've walked into a chai point and stuff, essentially going forward, there has to be no reason for me to not service all my needs there. If I'm hungry, I got exactly what I want to eat. And it's not just going to be about a cup of chai. So I think, that's the overall experience is going to be elevated for anyone kind of stepping into a chai point going forward. I had a question about, and everything that you said in the last 15, 20 minutes has broadened the scope of this, but I want to understand when you think about competition, right? Who is Chai Point's competition now? And since you guys are doing so many different things, right? Do you have like competition in the retail side? We're looking at these guys, while going out for chai, we're looking at these guys. So how do you think about competition?
So to be honest, we don't think about competition for several reasons. Number one, we are not that big that we have to protect our turf and market share. We are babies, in terms of share in the market. 6 lakh over a trillion, cups. What is that? That's nothing. So we are not even 0.1%. So market share and competition, that's not the consideration at all. The goal is to do what we feel we can do in the best possible manner. Now, we are very clear on our brand purpose. It's not about serving a great cup. It is to create a feeling in the customer that when I engage with this brand, my life is brightened, right? The customer is not going to say like that, but in effect, that is what we intend to do. The customer should realize that, wow, this is a brand where a lot of my friends, family love to get together. So in a way, subtly, they need to get the message that this is a brand which is pulling people together, right? That is our prime goal. Towards achieving that goal, we have realized that fundamentally we are a beverage play. We need to increase aggressively the convenience aspect of our offering. So it's very easy for people to engage with us, right? Coming to my earlier point of kitchen cabinets.
Correct.
Customers are sitting at home. So they're at home. How does Chai Point become convenient? One thing is ordering, which is great. But then you have to order, the delivery guy has to come, COVID, riders are allowed, not allowed. Even more convenient is I go into my kitchen, open the cabinet, pick out the products and create something thereon, for a perfect experience. So convenience and accessibility is the route, right, towards achieving the brand purpose. Last but not least, the health quotient and the sustainability quotient of our products. So all of our products, and Kaushal, when you experience our products inside the stores also, our sugar levels are very balanced. We don't give sweet syrupy chai or even the food products, the sweeter products are very balanced. We are very particular that all our teas and coffee are single origin. They all come from single estates. And we have a significant volume. Even for vending machines, our tea and coffee is single origin. What is the meaning of single origin? Meaning of single origin is that it is coming in from an accredited tea estate where there are global standards of pesticide usage, fertilizer usage, being followed. Many of these estates have global certifications, such as Rainforest Alliance. Some of them have applied for it. Some of them have Indian certifications, UTZ and others. So these are the other aspects around, so I'm giving you an example that the health part for us, therefore, is very important. When we are launching Pepi, we launched it first with refined flour. But very recently now we have introduced, or we're about to introduce, whole wheat paranthas, right? Likewise, on the coffee side, when we launched, we made it a point that not only should it be single origin, it should be Rainforest Alliance. When we use sugar, we used sulfur-free sugar. We are amongst the largest sellers of honey as an additive across all our products. Likewise, we were the first ones to come out with sachets of jaggery because it's a healthier form of sugar. So that's the other part, which is important after you have accessibility and convenience. You need to focus on quality, you need to focus on sustainability. That's what we are after. Now, if we are after this, we are so busy doing this, there is no reason or rhyme to look at competitors and what they are doing. The market is too big. Let them do whatever they have to.
Got it. Now, just to kind of come close to a conclusion, I want to understand what makes Amuleek Singh Bijral the entrepreneur tick, right? I know you love the mountains. I think the name of the brand as well has something to do with mountains. And in our conversations, I couldn't help but notice a photo of you on your Royal Enfield, right? So what makes you tick? And yeah.
So, I think I do things out of passion. I do things out of interest. My effort is to make sure that with passion and with good reason, both, I'm able to attract the best set of colleagues who can work with me in accomplishing our goal, which is a very tough one, but it's a massive one if achieved. So I think these two things, passion and a reason-based determination to attract the best people, is my drive. Last but not least, I think persistence. As an individual, with grace of God, I don't think I get rattled too easily. I'm a persistent person. And I think that's about it. Rest, whatever is in our control is in our control, and what is not is not.
Just before we kind of let you go, we have a small little rapid fire, which will take 2 minutes.
Okay.
If you're good to go. So your favorite item on your menu?
Kashmiri kawa.
All right. Favorite time for chai in the day for you?
Early morning, 6 o'clock, whatever. Even, when there were flights and, I was traveling. I never missed my breakfast.
I'm curious, how early do you wake up?
Now, I think I'm on average getting around 5:30. I've become better. I was not always like that. But never have been a late riser too. Typically I was up by 7, but now I've pushed it up. And I love my breakfast, so I never miss my breakfast. So I love my early morning cup of chai for sure.
All right. How often do you order food from outside, food or drinks?
Yeah, a lot, fairly. So last night, just me and my wife, I had some Japanese and she had some Chinese, and we keep doing that. We are a foodie family, and we love to try out foods. We keep on ordering. Of course, I keep on ordering from Chai Point for both reasons. One, to indulge, and second, to also test how's the delivery going.
Yeah. Your favorite cuisine? Do you have one?
Frankly, I'm not very picky about my food. I go with the flow, but lately I'm enjoying a lot of Japanese whenever I can. Very few places which are doing delivery on Japanese, but I would say if I have to pick the current theme, it's Japanese.
All right. Do you have a favorite movie?
Oh, yes, I'm a movie buff. The challenge is that I have too many good movies.
Maybe a top 3 or anything that just comes to your mind, right?
Anything comes to my mind. Okay. So let's talk about the latest stuff. So I saw a very good movie called The Debt on Netflix. Very good. Really liked it. I liked Enola. I really liked Enola. What else? I've been watching some Korean, Japanese movies also.
Okay.
Random on Netflix.
Yeah.
So I'm a movie buff. I can go on and on actually.
If you had to pick, I mean, it's a tough one, but getting an MBA or getting work experience?
Okay. No, it's not a tough one. So I do think MBAs are overrated. Definitely, they are overrated. I mean, to be honest, I learned how to run a business from a finance aspect in spite of a top-notch MBA much later, only through experience. So I would value experience over MBA anytime. If you're looking for one sentence, that's the answer.
All right. Favorite holiday destination?
Mountains, Kashmir, endless. Again and again. Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Kashmir, specifically.
All right.
Anytime.
Final one, a book that maybe inspired you or changed your life is the words that I have here, but that sounds too strong. But a book that inspired you?
So that's another thing. I read a lot. Actually, more than movies, I read. I think the book that I feel has really made a huge impact in my life was a book that I read in college. It was called The Tao of Physics. Okay. It was not about physics. It was, but it was more than just physics. It is by an author called Fritjof Capra. I think it built a very different kind of sensibility in me. But let's also talk about latest. So one book that I would recommend to readers is, again, a 5-6-year-old book, I think, but very, very good book. I read it recently. It's called the Checklist Manifesto. Okay. So all entrepreneurs, everybody who wants to be good at what they do at scale should read this book called the Checklist Manifesto. It's by a guy called Dr. Atul Gawande. He's an Indian, but a very famous surgeon, healthcare specialist in the US. What else? Any other good book? I can talk about books a lot. So, yes, another book that I liked, which I recently finished, was on Lee Kuan Yew, the Prime Minister of Singapore. So it's, I'll just tell you, it is a compilation of his works and the authors, because there are several books on Lee Kuan Yew. Allison and Blackwell, Lee Kuan Yew. Somebody who's interested about India, this is a book that I really, really enjoy. It's called Jugal Bandi. It's written by, I'm forgetting the author's name, the Indian professor at Princeton. It's about the partnership between Atal Bihari Vajpayee and L.K. Advani. Very, very interesting. And one fascinating book that I'm reading, which I would highly recommend to people who have a bit of an interest in tech or whatever science fiction, is a book called Hail Mary by an author called Andy Weir.
Awesome. I have my bookshelf behind me. I'm going to be adding to that with some of the recommendations that you've given. Just to conclude, I just want to say that this has been a special episode of Decode, because of your long association with UrbanPiper. I think, the video of yours on our website is one of the most popular one that people have seen. And over the past decade, essentially, UrbanPiper has kind of grown along with ChaiPoint. On that video, you speak about stuff like implementing a wallet solution, enabling omnichannel, and scaling delivery with the help of UrbanPiper. And so, how is that association today? What are some of the challenges that you still kind of solve with UrbanPiper?
No, I think I know very recently we tied up with UrbanPiper in extending our reach to customers via Easy Diner. I think we also tied up with UrbanPiper in connecting with Magic Pen, if I'm not wrong.
Correct.
So our reliance on UrbanPiper as a partner is increasing. We feel very confident about it. I talk to your team members on a fairly regular basis. And delivery is super important. So even for our packaged products, I mean, we've been using the delivery channel a lot. So net, I mean, I just told you the most recent tie-ups, the core reliance on connecting with folks like Amazon, Zomato is of course there, and Swiggy too. But the fact that we are getting on board new channels via UrbanPiper should give the viewers some confidence that you guys are onto something really solid for the F&B industry.
Thank you. And I'm not going to take any more time of yours on this Saturday. I just want to thank you for all your inputs, how you see the F&B industry, and a little bit about your journey as well. And you showed us your candid side as well with some great movie and book recommendations. So thank you, and we hope you have a great day.
Thank you, Kaushal. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and leave a comment below, and subscribe to stay updated with the latest in the food tech industry with UrbanPiper.